Yo, this is so. I'm wondering if this is an appropriate time to go back to Jamaica and just like try to live a life there. It's not terror. It can't be that bad. It can't be. I'm educated. Like, I'm a therapist. Like, I offer all kinds of cool services. You know, masters in theological studies. Like, I feel like I could just go back home and figure my life out. Cause not Pete Hegseth just telling the people FAFO. You summon like hundreds and hundreds of military personnel to use this kind of vernacular. FAFO live on TV as the Secretary of Defense or War, whatever they calling him now. This is. We must be prepared.
Greetings. Did you see the meeting from the war commander? Because they want to change the Department of Defense to the Department of War. You brought all those generals in and all those people from all over the world to tell them what? That you're lowering your standards, you're taking away protections, and you're giving army and military people the authority to put hands on new recruits. Who's the new recruits you're going to get, Pete? Oh, that's why they have the draft. And that's why they turned it into a bill. And that's why they turned it into a law. And now your high school students are now what? Got to fill out them documentation so they can take them by force and not by will. Good luck, Americans. Your president said it, and his defense secretary says it. They're on the path for war, and your children are in the limelight.
So Whiskey Dick himself, Pete Hegseth, ordered all the U.S. generals from all over the world to come in for a meeting this morning to have one of the most cringy fucking moments I've ever seen in my life.
Should our enemies choose foolishly to challenge us, they will be crushed by the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department. In other words, to our enemies, FAFO. If necessary, our troops can translate that for you.
Holy fucking cringe, Whiskey Pete. That was fucking brutal. It reminded me of this clip, and if you already know what I'm about to play, give yourself a gold star.
Back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
Number fucking one in American politics, never go full Jeb Bush. Come on, Whiskey Pete.
Pete Hegseth's meeting with the top military officials is basically him bitching about them needing to do better against the war on woke. And I just want the top brass in the military that are there at that meeting, I want you all to understand. The guy that drove his truck into the Mormon church, Thomas Jacob, he's a registered Republican. He's MAGA. Tyler Robinson, the one who took out Charlie Kirk, far-right extremist. And not to mention Nigel Edge, the suspect in the North Carolina unaliving at the Waterfront restaurant, who may potentially be an Epstein victim. The meeting Pete Hegseth had with our top brass military personnel was an embarrassment to the United States and to our service members everywhere.
I don't feel sorry for my officer counterparts in the DOD, but it has to be said. Pete Hegseth calling all the generals and flag officers in the military for a bullshit speech at Quantico has to be some type of humiliation ritual. And mind you, some of these officers, they've been in for like 30, 40 years. They had to do all the commands, all the training, all the schools to get where they got. And now imagine if you're one of them, you're sitting down in Quantico summoned by Donald Trump's crony who hasn't had half of your career. Man, I'm telling you, that's gotta be rough. I was just watching Pete Hegseth's address to the generals via TikTok live stream on from PBS, and y'all, he gonna be like, oh, we need military leaders that are apolitical, but then 2 minutes later he's pushing political ideologies of the Trump administration. Do we not know what apolitical mean? Are we just saying words? Because that's not good. Those two, they don't go together. Okay, you can't push political ideologies, praising an administration for whatever political ideologies you have, and then say that you need leaders that are apolitical. You are the head guy. That means you need to be apolitical. But yeah,
PBS is live right now broadcasting the address. If you want to go watch it, you can. I'm not watching it anymore. I feel like some of my brain cells died.
You see, a few days ago when I heard that Pete Hegseth was ordering all the generals, 1-star to 4-star generals, to come to a meeting so he could, talk to them or something, I thought, this is it. This is the fucking forthright moment. This is where they're going to force the generals to pledge their allegiance to Donald Trump, and we will be in Nazi territory. Thank goodness I'm wrong. He's just a fucking idiot. First of all, the speech he gave was televised, meaning all those generals who were flown in from across the world, some of them had to jump onto other generals' planes, carpooling. This could have been a Zoom meeting for them. So yeah, they definitely hate him if they didn't hate him before. And this moron, Pete Hegseth, was up there talking about removing wokeness from the US military, as if these aren't West Point valedictorian graduates, and Pete Hegseth isn't some alcoholic rapist. Speaking of that second part, Pete Hegseth is planning to remove anonymous complaints from the US military. So if you're a woman or a minority and you're fearful of being murdered or assaulted, Pete Hegseth wants that to happen. Also, at the end of his fucking speech, he went F-A-F-O, which means fuck around and found out. No one clapped, cheered, nothing. He just looked in the camera and then there was dead silence, man. Fucking Reddit-controlled government.
Listen. This is simply me giving a recap of what I just watched. I just watched the Secretary of Defense, or the Secretary of War, I guess it's called now, talk about the changes, and this is the part that confused me. He said, we're moving back to gender neutral standards, and the gender neutral standards are the highest male standard. I don't understand how you say gender neutral and then say male directly following, but hey, what do I know? So there's that. And then he said, we're not trying to kick women out, but if women no longer meet the standards, whoop-de-fucking-do. Okay, he didn't say whoop-de-do. He said, so be it. He said, if women no longer meet the standards, so be it. And then, this is the other part. This is the part that got me making a video. That we'll be able to put people... They will be able to put their hands on recruits. And he said, well, to a certain extent, people take shit too far. The EO and IG complaint system is being revamped. There will be no more anonymous complaints. No repeated complaints. So if you report someone one time, you can't report them again. They're changing the way that people I was screen recording. Also, the beards, y'all can I feel like people gonna be like, take this down. I didn't say nothing crazy. All I said was what he said. So you could put your hands on recruits. They're revamping the EO complaints because people bitching too much. And if women no longer meet the standards, whoop-de-fucking-do. And if you don't meet the standards, you're out of here, buddy. Immediately. And I think a lot of the people who are currently served recognize how dangerous this is, and even he recognizes how dangerous this is, because he said in his thing, he said that with these changes, he knows that mistakes are going to happen, and because they know that mistakes are going to happen, they're basically loosening up what will happen to leaders and people who are enforcing the change. So they won't be really penalized. He's like, oh, because mistakes happen, and if it's a real mistake, like, we're not gonna hold it against you. There were so many people in that comment section talking about, oh, this is amazing, this is amazing. Finally we have leaders who blah blah. You better get your boots. You better get your boots. You better get your boots. Since y'all are so excited for what is about to happen to the military, and you know what's crazy? Everybody that was saying that shit in the comments, well, everybody that I saw, and I click on their page, it's not giving military. It's not giving service member. It's not giving I've ever served. So the ranks are about to dwindle. They're about to dwindle. So everyone that's so excited for the change, get ready to serve. Get ready to serve.
I just choked down a solid chunk of Pete Hegseth's address to the military so that you don't have to. That kid is such a creep. Well, first of all, he started off with a lecture about how you can no longer have a beard if you're in the military. He wants you clean cut and baby-faced, probably in case he wants to try to kiss you. The beard, it's getting in his way. And then he started yapping about how they're going to undo any sort of protections for women and minorities within the military. He really pushed that it's going to be quote unquote merit based, but I would suggest that women and minorities are no longer safe in this white supremacist military. Understand that the people that will be drawn to that organization now, and even the people within the organization who maybe do have good intentions, they will no longer have any means to protect you from the people who are there because of the things that Pete Hegseth is saying right now. He did also essentially say that even if you're a white man, if you can't pass their very strict physical exams at this point, you are not welcome. What interests me about all of this is, where are they going to get people to fill up the military? We already have an issue with low enlistment. So what are you going to do now when no one meets your fucking standards, babe? Where are you getting these rare physical specimens from? Because I can tell you right now, they're not on the dating apps. They don't exist in my state. They're very rare. So I don't know how you're going to fill an entire military with people that do not exist. We have an extreme apathy problem with young men. And honestly, you know what? Please take them, whip them into shape. Go for it. See if you can get that to work. I personally think it's not going to work out in the favor of the U.S. military. We'll see what happens.